I'm talking about the complainers on this fucking app and elsewhere in media. Anybody who complains and bitches about the Jews is just essentially like a lot of black people on this app, a lot of BHI. What they're really saying is, I hate the Jew because those lucky motherfuckers got their own shit going on for themselves. They got their own country, and what the fuck do we got? Nothing. Living in a fucking shack off of food stamps. I want a state too. I want my own country.
He's the one who has that whole America First coalition. So he's not a white nationalist, but close enough.
He's a Mexican.
He's like
He's Mexican. He's not fucking white.
I think his dad is half Mexican or some shit.
No, his dad is Mexican. Look for it.
I've seen his dad. I've seen his sister.
No, look Wikipedia.
He also has I know. I've seen him. He has a twin sister. You might not know that. She turned out.
He's a singer, and he wants a white Christian white whatever.
Yeah, some Mexicans are on board with that.
Diego says he is cooler and better than Nick Fuentes because guess what? Nick Fuentes isn't what you think Nick Fuentes is. He is what is it called? An in vitro fertilization baby, an IVF baby.
Oh yeah, I heard that on your. I heard your recording yesterday. I thought it was hilarious.
He's likely a non-closeted homosexual. A lot of people suspect that, including myself.
Yeah, so apparently Nick Fuentes is on IVF.
He was also on Adrian Dittman on X. They did like a multi-hour conversation. I believe it's just damage control because I have plenty of videos of Nick Fuentes being a fucking loser, just in the same way that Soren just played a video. Essentially, he went on Adrian Dittman and did damage control and said, I have a lot of Jewish friends. I love the Jews. You know, and so it was, he's dithering, but really at the end of the day, he is an anti-Semitic Jew-hating troll. He's a Jew-hating gaslighter. He's a piece of shit. He's a fucking he's a loser.
Well, you know, I'm somebody who never really gave a fuck about Jews, but in terms of like, I never had any strong feelings about them. I really still don't. But I mean, there is like a grain of truth to stereotypes and a lot of things. I mean, I've listened to the neo-Nazis and anti-Semitic people for years, and I usually just didn't. We would fight because they couldn't really back up or substantiate most of their claims. But I mean, there are some.
Is this when you got your doctorate degree in racism and hatred on Discord? Your glorious multi-years of researching stupid people, and then you realize, oh, maybe I'm a stupid person too.
I'm not distributing to nobody.
Oh, I think you should keep doing that because I found some on the website.
I mean, Pepe, maybe if you actually created some media out of all this, you'd have some fruits to show for your labor of stupidity. At least I've bottled you and proven that you're part of the stupid people group.
They never did.
Yeah, they don't.
Like, dead people, when somebody dies, they don't know they're dead. You suffer because they're dead, but they don't know they're dead. Same thing is with stupid people. They don't know they're stupid.
Until any of these dumb fucking Jew-hating pieces of shit come on here and read a book, I will be forever convinced that they're illiterate, dumb fucks. Soren, read us a book and prove you can even read.
Anti-Semites that honestly are much more intelligent than anybody, likely more intelligent than anyone on this fucking stage. I mean, it's not as cut.
Yeah, but reading a book is
not that simple.
I've seen people read books and not understand it. So the people on this end can't even read books. But the people that can read books, they don't understand it.
I don't really think you need to read books these days. You just have to open up.
You don't have to read books these days. You just have to open TikTok and play Nick Fuentes to educate you. Fuck you, you idiot.
evil, Soren. He's finally realizing what evil is.
Which, by the way, they strangled them, Soren. What do you think about that?
How many of them? 70,000 of them? Or what?
There were not 17,000 babies killed by Israel. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, you're talking about
And these two babies, they actually strangled them and they made them suffer. You're fucking animals.
It's just why talking to Soren is a total waste of everybody's time.
Well, I really think they feel like they're sorry. I don't know what you're talking about. You know,
No, they
I think people should try to remember what a book is, because in 2024, if you don't put it in terms of computer science, you might find out you're a fucking idiot. A book is an external hard drive of information that does not exist in your stupid, pathetic little micro brain. If you come to this app every day and waste your fucking life talking about the J words, you may have what's called brain rot. You should go to the library. Thank you very much.
But the problem is we don't have education in this country. Books is just information. It can be digital, it can be analog. People have to learn how to process information.
That's called comprehension, understanding, otherwise known as integrative knowledge. Some of the dumb fucks on this app do not have that ability. That's why you should still read books, because over time, you might develop the ability to integrate knowledge into your stupid micro fucking brain for morons.
Yeah, instead just go and listen to Nick Fuentes.
A lot of the shit that he will say, you can have somebody who is very smart, an electrical engineering professor. He's still a professor, but he wrote, I forget, it was called like the greatest lie of the 20th century or some shit, Arthur Butch.
The J word.
Yeah, Kevin McDonald. He was an evolutionary psychology professor in California. He wrote for the culture. Was it culture?
I don't know. I just listen to whatever Milo Yiannopoulos says.
People, and even that crazy neo-Nazi book, The Turner Diaries, that everybody likes. Like what is it? Arthur William Pierce. He was a physicist. He was a doctor. You do get like not all of the people who have crazy ideas and hate people does not mean that they're necessarily stupid.
I read Richard Irving instead of having breakfast. I read Richard Irving instead of going to the gym. Richard Irving is a genius.
What is an evolutionary psychologist?
Well, don't you know there's no God, Meyer? So everything was created through genetic evolution, which is really just mutations in the genetic code of descendancy?
Yeah.
Let me Google it. Is that really a term?
Evolutionary psychology, yeah. Evo psych.
How do you explain some of the rats on this app without evolutionary psychology? How do you explain some of the clowns on this app without evolutionary psychology, Meyer? Come on, get in touch with your evolutionary psychological feelings. Adapt to the situation.
But a physicist is not a doctor, just to let you know.
No, he has a PhD.
He's an astrophysicist. He does math and stuff, Meyer.
Well, I guess he do some math, but...
Did you find it?
No, I'm gonna...
See, the point is, you know, Milo Yiannopoulos, that F word, you know, a lot of people think he's a brilliant conservative political commentator. But if you take your advice from a guy who takes up the ass and sucks dicks all day long, and, you know, he's got a great flair about it, it's like, is that the guy you want political advice from? I don't know. That's just me.
Are you referring to Pepe?
No, I'm talking, well, yeah, basically. I mean, but I was talking about Milo Yiannopoulos, an actual successful political commentator, unlike Pepe, who got his education out of the trenches in fucking Discord. Dr. Discord. I love how Pepe always goes back to.
All your takes are so stupid sometimes.
This is Pepe's favorite thing to say. Many of you don't know where I come from, but I'm from Discord in the land of hate, where I used to talk to hateful people all the time.
I mean, but no, I mean, that's kind of like, I guess, like, I did have a really, I mean, I was maybe a little bit more radical myself, you know, some time ago, but I did have.
You mean you were a neo-Nazi white supremacist? Is that what you're saying?
Just to debate them.
Are you saying you were a neo-Nazi white supremacist when you were more radical? Well, what the fuck do you mean when you say, I used to be a lot more radical? What the fuck does that mean, Dr. Pepe?
You're such a troll.
I'm not a troll. You're an idiot. And I came here to roast you. That's what I like to do on this app now, is roast J-word hating idiots.
You can tell me what a righteous Gentile I was just a couple of years ago. Because I was something like that.
Called you a righteous Gentile?
Yeah. Remember, I used to always stand up for you because they were all getting bullied after the Kanye shit.
No, I don't want that to go. Go ahead, brother.
It's not important that I was saying it's not mutually exclusive. You could be a troll and you could be an idiot.
Exactly.
Is that what you wanted to say? I thought you were going to talk about the evolutionary psychology stuff.
Oh, so ethno-psychology, I'm reading about it. It just, I didn't know it was a separate discipline. It's just that our psyche has evolved evolutionary during like the period 2.5 million to 12,000 years ago. The modular mind hypothesis, the notion that brains evolved distinct psychological mechanisms to handle specific adaptive problems rather than having one general personal reasoning system. So that would fall into Claude. So that would fall into why we can like grok certain like intuitive things, but when it comes to like numbers and those, we have to use our more evolved system. And
it's like a pseudoscience, I believe. I mean, like, is it new? How long is it?
It's been around for a while.
I think all of psychology has elements of pseudoscience in it.
Yeah.
I mean, therapy and behavioral therapy has advantages that humans have been doing ever since the beginning of time. And if someone is naturally good at it and then trains for it, they can do it. Like, I'm not talking against therapy, but these like psychological theories and all the social sciences have strong pseudoscience pressures.
There is a book. It's a very expensive book. Let's talk about books. There's an expensive book.
Talk about one.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Pepe.
Well, it's a series of papers. It's interesting. So you can go to his name is Nathan Kofnas, Cofnas, and so I forget the name of the paper. So basically, Kevin McDonald. These are scholarly papers. They put them up, and so they debated each other. And so Kevin McDonald laid down out all of the theories regarding, basically the issues that he sees with Jews. If you guys wanted to see it, it's on Nathan Kofnas' website. Nathan Kofnas, professor at Cambridge. He's a Jewish guy. He's also kind of considered far right. Amy Wax, who's a law professor, but also has a dual PhD and MD.
Can you just tell us? I mean, like,
sure.
Yeah,
so
don't
basically, he ends up giving all of the. He gives,
We don't want the bibliography. We want we want your point. We want your beautiful point.
Get to the point.
And then Nathan Kofnas, and there's others on both sides. They're basically leading shut the fuck up, you spick.
No,
they were basically laying out.
Well, then you're gonna go to the fucking audience. Get to the point.
Yeah, well, you stop interrupting me. They lay out the counterpoints and why they think Kevin McDonald is full of shit. And so you guys can look at that. I mean, these are like the bigger brain people.
But what's the point? You still haven't told us anything.
It's a fucking, these are papers.
See, this is going back to what Meyer was talking about. This is called integrative knowledge, understanding, comprehension.
So many points that I'm not.
You said nothing then. You can't list one bullet point for us?
So sorry, in summary, there's papers that people that hate Jews and then people that write back why they're wrong. Thanks. What book were you going to tell us about, Adrian?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not going to tell you just a bunch of names of people and say, oh, they disagree with each other. Great fucking story, Pepe. The point is, there's this book. It's called How to Win Jury Trials, The Reptile Mind or The Chameleon Mind. I believe it's called Reptile. That's the name of the book. But it says that in a group setting, if a group or society is presented with information that poses a threat to that society, the group will vote in favor of a punitive action against that threat. So it's like called the reptile mind, meaning the inner chambers of your brain, which is really considered like the oldest part of the human being. If you believe that the brain developed over a period of time and that our outer layers are, like what that article said you just read, like 2.6 million years ago or something. That is a theory. I don't believe that's true. I think there is a lot of pseudoscience in that, but the cognitive or the psychological, especially in a herd type group think, that's where it becomes applicable in terms of influence, manipulation, control. So there is a belief that the inner cortex of the mind is a reptile mind, meaning it only comes out of its hole to fight or to flee. So if you believe in like a rudimentary modality of manipulation, if you believe based on this reptile theory, it's like one way to essentially manipulate people through communication.
I did not find the book, but I did find reptile theory, which encourages the jury to focus on acts of the defendant rather than the facts.
Maybe that is it. What's the
It's the same theory.
It's not an author, it's a theory. I didn't find the book.
Yeah, the book is called Reptile. It's like $600 or $900 on eBay, but you can download a PDF version of it for free, and it's very interesting. But if you mix that with memetics, there's a kid here on this app called Chris, a smart young man. He knows how to get all these books for free. But if you mix memetic theory with
Chris with a K?
no, that's his real name. Yeah, Chris with a K. No, he's not a kid. He's like in his late 20s or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I know which Chris.
Yeah. Anyways, this is just communication theory and, using communication to achieve your goals.
Okay, did you see this is how you develop, how do you deliver a summary? Can you do the same with the papers that you were mentioning?
Well, I'm very
I'll
proud.
just post it.
No, we want a summary. Nobody's going to read those papers.
Oh, okay. Well, so basically, if I'm just going to do a summary, it would be him. He relies heavily on a evil psych like critique of Jews, and he brings up a lot of instances, whether it's Jews largely spearheading different movements, whether it was the communist movement in the United States decades ago. Of course, the change of the 1964 Civil Rights Act, the 1965 Immigration Act, and he touches on it has so much fucking information. I just can't.
Okay, but all of those we can say that I believe that, for example, that the civil rights movement, it was a way of filtering the United States with communist propaganda. It was a communist initiative. Now, how exactly do you link that to what you call the evilness in Jews? Like, how do you make that jump? How do you attribute that specifically? Because you said, that there is certain evilness or whatever that is linked to Jews. I believe in general, right? Because you're talking absolute terms, because there is no other way to come up with these theories if you're not applying absolute terms. So how exactly will you make that jump? It's absurd. I think it would be absurd to link it to Christianity or something similar.
well, he'll make the point. His whole point is that it's an evolutionary strategy Jews have to, I guess you could say, behave the way they do. According, this is all me relaying what he says.
Kieran wants you to post it. He wants to add it to his website and semantic.
He needs to feed his confirmation bias. Any other pseudo-intellectual things out there?
Can I suggest that there is a conspiracy or a theory of three-letter words? So if you use the J word all the time, that's like in 1987 using the G word all the time and talking about gay rights and Michael Milk or whatever the hell his name is. So the point is it's political. And when people come on here and use the J word all the time, they're generally stupid, low IQ, anti-Semitic hating bigots. But you also should consider that it is the reverse political position. I mean, Judaism is political. It is its own state. So if you're a J word hater, you are being political, but you are essentially doing a three-letter word conspiracy. And technically, you're gay. Because if all you do is use the J word every other second sentence, I call that J word Tourette's or JDS, Jewish Derangement Syndrome. You are literally the dumbest person you know because you're obsessed with the J word. It makes you basically gay. Do you see what I mean, Pepe? Does that make any sense to you?
I'm not obsessed with Jews, though. I don't fucking care about them.
Are you kidding me? You talk about J words all the time in a negative light. You say those fucking Jews, these fucking Jews. Every word you say is like a gaslight to Jews. You're stupid.
No, I don't.
You do. You use the J word negatively in your speech all the time in a harassing, toxic manner.
What are you talking about? I don't.
Just go ahead. Tell us a story about some J word you know.
I don't use the term Jew as a pejorative. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
You do. I've heard it all the time. Anyways, I like you, Pepe, because you do let yourself get roasted and you're not like an asshole or, I've never heard you. I think you're funny. I mean, I just think you need to frame yourself as being a comedian. If you don't do that, you're like a stupid person.
Well, I mean, I don't troll as much as I used to, but,
Well, maybe you should film yourself trolling and, be polite about it. Don't use any pejoratives.
I don't use Jews as pejoratives. I don't know how else to say it.
Oh, I think these rooms are so educational.
They should be funny, and they should be...
Go back to talking about books. What other books are you recommending? Because Reptile sounds too difficult for me to read.
Yeah, until you have to read Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, the Stoic Philosophy.
That is a small book.
You can read that in just 2 hours, start to close, maybe. Anyways, the point is, it is about anger management control and, not losing your shit. But it's about that integrative knowledge, about taking that information and actually understanding it. And so when you're out in the real world or you're on Clown House, it changes the way in which you listen. It changes what you're going to say. I mean, it's very advanced psychology. So, and it's 2,000 years ago. It's just unbelievable that in 2025, we're living as if people were in the year 125. And
Wait, what's the name of the book?
Meditations of Marcus Aurelius.
That's a nice book.
You can get a Harvard classic on eBay for $6. It also includes Epictetus and Plato. So until you read the ancients, I mean, why the fuck do you think talking about J words all day long or N words or whatever the fuck else you want to talk about is important?
You know which one I bought because Epaminondas recommended to me? I bought the whole collection of Moralia from Plutarchus or whatever. That one is amazing, Meyer, and you can hear it. I think it's in Audible as well. But I also have a collection of the books. Moralia, so it's one of a Greek collection. Moralia, yeah. And it's actually fascinating. Like, it talks about all the values, in society where, I don't know, the value
Plutarch.
Plutarch, yeah. It's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 books.
Man, did you know Epimenormus?
No.
Oh,
You don't?
he's actually how I even met like Jewish clubhouses through him.
He's like my,
Jews? Why are we talking about Jews again?
he's like my,
Oh, you mean on here?
Yeah.
my Jewish best friend, my Jewish best friend in the afternoon.
He had like a stone. If you knew.
A bust of a man's face in the stone.
Yeah. I don't remember him well. If you start telling me, I might. But I I've seen on here a lot. I'm trying to remember if I.
Well, him and I are kind of like kind of similar, or somewhat similar politically.
Yeah, because they are, I mean, Epa is conservative too.
But he's one of the first people I met on here. He was like the one I was like cool, pretty much around the most on here when I first joined. But he those
He
papers.
distanced himself from you, Leditor.
He did. He's the one who first sent me those papers I was talking about. That he was the one who first sent me that with Kevin McDonald and Nathan Koftis. The only reason I brought those up is if you wanted to hear an anti-Semitic shit that's kind of justified, that would be hard to combat or I guess rebuttal. Kevin McDonald, the guy who wrote the Culture for Critique.
Tell us the points, Pepe. Like,
Hold on. Under what context did Epa send you that?
He's the one who shared these papers with me.
Yeah, but under what context did he share that?
Because him and I used to fight against the people that were like Jew hating on the right. We thought they were retards, so him and I would fight with them. And so.
But what are these irrefutable points, Pepe?
They're not irrefutable. Nathan Koftis addresses them.
You can stop using people's name anytime and actually say something of any substantial value.
Shut the fuck up.
No, you can shut the fuck up. Say something intelligent. I challenge you.
He's the one who basically offers a rebuttal to all of his points.
Oh, here we go again. Tell us a name
that's
again.
why basically, it's kind of.
I know you were a boxer, Pepe, and you have brain damage, and you can't actually list any points, aka bullet points. But go ahead, tell us another name. And you should probably get back in the boxing ring sometime soon.
They're so annoying,
dude. You're stupid.
I'm not stupid, dude.
Say something intelligent. I challenge you. Tell us anything interesting.
Go for it. Say something intelligent.
Okay, all communication is hypnosis. Listen, I read about that statement in a neurolinguistic programming book, and it says all communication is hypnosis.
Hey, Pepe, don't fall for it. He's gonna try to hypnotize you.
Who's talking? Where's it?
Dr. Redford, he's a patient of mine.
Yeah, that's my coach.
So, Pepe, tell us some interesting points about what you discovered in the trenches when you got your doctorate in the Discord.
Is Kieran back? No, he left already.
So do you guys have really good morals, or?
Morals?
Here's another dumbass.
Another smart one, yeah. There's another one.
Is this that fucking wanker who speaks with eloquence?
No, it's just do you ever look in the mirror and like wonder why there's no brain inside that skull? Like, totally.
Mate, you've got no morals. You've got no morals, mate.
I'm just distracted by my incredibly good looks. So just.
Oh.
No, but you're a Muslim. It's impossible that you have.
I mean, that's a guess.
He said, you saw me in real life, probably stare. So,
Are you Somali?
You cannot compete with a goat.
Aziz, do you know how lucky you are that you even speak English and actually live in a top tier country?
I can take all of your women. That's not a question. That is not a question.
You don't take women, you rape women.
That is a fact. bro. I'm not lying, bro.
Go back to your grooming gang and look for your next victim for this
Some
weekend.
always like the ugly, literally. I'm not saying this just to be a smartass. They probably are the ugliest people.
One at a time, niggas. One at a time.
Yeah, you don't hate women unless you're a rapist like you.
I've never raped a woman in my life.
So you're not even good at raping.
Aziz, you started this conversation out asking us if we now have any morals. Do you have any morals?
I think I do have morals. Yeah, I actually think I
Well,
do.
what are your morals? And put listed the bullet points, please, bruh.
Mine's are simple. Mine's are not objective. Mine's are not subjective. I have like objective.
You
morals.
got objective, subjective morals.
It's crazy, right? It's crazy.
So list a bullet point, mate. You kind of like Pepe. Tell us something smart, Aziz.
So I think like my morals will stand the test of time. You know, they kind of like time.
Infinity and beyond.
Wait, are your morals linked to Mohammed the pedophile?
My morals are linked to you know everything within the universe, just every single. So let's start living and wearing our objects.
Let's see how quickly you can make an idiot of yourself. Where have you acquired your morals from?
Observation.
Observation. So observation can't get you to acquire morals, right? So that took less than 1 second to be an idiot. Observation is collection of data. Then you have to prove that data. So again, where does your morals come from?
You know, observation and questioning myself and others. You know, so I guess that's what I got.
Okay, so let me explain to you. I can try because you're very, very stupid. I don't know if I can. I observe a man with a knife cutting off somebody's body part and then scorching it with heat. That looks pretty cruel. But then if I start understanding what's happening there, that was a surgery. The body part was full of gangrene, which would have killed the patient. And the scorching it was the cortisone. So observation tells me literally nothing. Well, nothing.
Well, how do I learn about surgery by that observation?
No, but what do you observe from a 50-year? What do you observe from a 50-year-old man sleeping with a 9-year-old girl? What do you observe?
Why are we talking about random American men?
No, it's not random. It's your Prophet Muhammad.
I don't want to
Not
talk
a
about
9-year-old. So I just want to know what you observe from
I
that.
don't know what the point. Why are we talking about random American men? What point is this?
No, I'm talking about your Prophet Muhammad. Like he was 52 when he fucked a 9-year-old. So what do you observe from that?
So you obviously have a problem with. You haven't asked me what my.
No, you're saying that.
I actually have.
I'm asking for your observation. What do you observe from
More
that?
about you than
I actually have asked you where your morals are. You told me observation. I explained. I asked you where I got Adrian. First of all, Adrian did ask you what are your morals, and you said my morals stand the test of time. You didn't answer that question. Then I asked you before you tell me your morals, I would like to know where you got them from, because that's why do I hear them? And you said observation, meaning that I don't really care what the rest of your morals are, because that's a really stupid answer from a really stupid person.
Well, you know, that's what you want to hear. You hear what you want to hear at this point. You know,
Okay, so we'll give you another. Where's
You're not even being a good Muslim. You're not even being a good Muslim.
Microphone is horrible.
This isn't a religious conversation. I think we're like.
No, it is because we're talking about morals.
Well, you know,
You say you observe. So again, what is your observation from a 52-year-old man sleeping with a 9-year-old?
Okay, I'll answer that question.
Where have you
religious
acquired?
conversation?
No.
Clarify. Is it religious?
Okay, idiot. You brought up morals. Where do you get your morals from that we should accept what you have to say?
So I just believe it's like trial and error. Maybe I'm arrogant, you know, and maybe I'm
Okay, that was the stupidest answer.
I'm answering the question. If you allow me to, I have like a.
How do you assess error? How do you assess error?
I'll tell you how. I have this built-in fear of being wrong, right? And so I don't just want to be right. I look for the truth because I feel like what will happen is I don't want someone to argue their point and then I'm ultimately wrong. So like it stems from my arrogance, right? but I'm looking for the truth, not simply to be right.
You should be quite used to it because you're wrong like almost 100% of the time.
I mean, that's your
But you
opinion.
can always have it. You still haven't answered the question where your morals come from. So
But I'm just curious, Maya, because since he said that he derives his morals from observation, I truly wanted to know what type of morals does he derive from a 52-year-old man sleeping with sleeping with a 9-year-old. So you observe that, and what morals can you derive from that? That he's a pedophile and probably a child molester. So so why aren't you able to say that?
I'm having a religious conversation. Listen,
No, forget about religion.
Yeah,
Hold on.
There's examples of, you know, other religious practice, questions. I don't want to bring them up.
how do you know that's questionable?
Hold on. Let's forget about religion. Let's say that there is a 52-year-old man in the USA that you see is getting in bed with a 9-year-old girl. What morals do you derive from that observation? Would you say that he's a pedophile, or would you say that he's doing the right thing?
So look, you want me to... Okay, fine. Just don't let me speak.
Okay, perfect.
Excellent.
What's your
Okay,
remark?
fair enough. I just want to say...
Can you please let Euro get in on this conversation?
So I just want to say one thing. He wasn't 52, actually. He waited till he was 53.
So who was older?
Okay, thank you for that.
Can I just say that Clubhouse comes down to two things. Your experience here is a roast, essentially, but also it's technically low IQ dumb people talking about nothing, wasting time. This is truly college for stupid people who need free education, because as we all know, the cost of a quality education is too high, and you're lucky if your brain even works. So if you really want to read a book and gain knowledge and understanding and integrative knowledge, you're lucky if your brain works. That's why I say I think Pepe could have TBI, and guys like Aziz, maybe their brains didn't fully develop.
Well, you haven't heard me, you know, give my opinion on my morals. You know, you just...
It's because you can't make any points with your lack of eloquence.
You understand that 3-year-old with a 9-year-old, so
Should we all speak over each other?
Yes, let's do it. This is a waste of fucking time. Why not?
Yeah, let's just all speak over each other. Let's just do that.
Stupid people talk over each other all the time, Aziz. Perhaps you do that quite a bit too. Did you ever think that perhaps you're not as good as a listener as you ought to be?
I can do a better American one. But I just want to say, right?
Say something smart. I fucking challenge you, man. Anything intelligent, we'll listen. Go ahead.
Well, how about this? I'm probably the most educated. I don't know if there's very many more educated people in this room. So, formally, I mean, you know, maybe you're educated on like a
Extremely educated. Wow.
Yeah, I am actually.
I didn't know this was a job, CVS, or going to LinkedIn, mate. What are you trying to achieve with your stupidity here?
You brought that up. That was your point. Formal education was your point. So, that's now.
Isn't it amazing? You got a free education from some stupid white people in London who thought you were worthy of receiving the divine tax dollars.
Goddamn, I love America, man. Goddamn, gotta goddamn vote for Trump, you know what I mean? Don't get him a truck right in town. No, that's boring, bro. We'll be 11. We'll be 11.
You broke character at the end there, mate.
Gonna ride in the town, get in my truck, know what I mean? And go say again now, darling. Like, bro, what we doing, bro?
I like that, Aziz Morgs. Keep doing that. That was good character.
He sounded like a ghetto guy.
You see, Pepe? Listen, Pepe, you may not know you're stupid, but we're here to help you understand that your brain isn't working the way it probably should. I'm just trying to roast you a little more, Pepe. Oh, Zenamini is here. Zenamini can discuss those two books, the reptile and also the mimetic book.
Take it easy on Pepe.
Not too much on Pepe now.
We know I can dish it out. And I can
Dish it! Give it!
But I just don't have the energy today, and I just don't care to do it.
Well,
Are
you...
you hungover?
It's also not fair. He's a lot more intelligent than Aziz.
Who, Pepe is going to...
Listen, Pepe's got special papers. That gives him Magic Race's powers because he can list the PowerPoints. Pepe, say something intelligent. I challenge you.
I don't know what you want me to say.
Something intelligent, something smart, something where profound. All communication is hypnosis.
He just did.
You can say whatever you want about it, but
I mean, do you want to see the thousands of videos of me reading books? I would like to hear you pull out any book right now, Pepe, and read one paragraph, and we'll find out pretty quickly whether you can even fucking read.
So David Wood was banned from traveling to the UK. Like no big reaction.
Roy, let's take a little bit topic. I wanted to ask you before, but we weren't in that topic. What's the vibe right now in Tel Aviv with everything that's happening?
Are you talking about like the...
Are they calling for it? Yeah.
Are you talking about the buses that were exploded?
What?
The buses that were
The
exploded?
bosses, the Vivas family, the stupid thing that's happening right now. Are people okay with going back to...
So I don't know why a lot of people say like they were like contacting me and saying, is everything okay? I heard there were like some explosions in Tel Aviv. And there weren't any explosions in Tel Aviv. It wasn't Holon and Batya. They are like adjacent to Tel Aviv, but it wasn't in Tel Aviv. I didn't see any article that said that someone got injured. Like there were like 4 explosives that were planted in 4 different buses, or sorry, 3 different buses in one, I think, close to the hospital. And the 3 were detonated, the other one wasn't. But I didn't see anyone that got injured.
No, but what I mean is like, what is the vibe? Have you spoken with people? Have you been in the street? Like,
I am, but we don't. I don't know. People don't speak a lot about politics as people might think that we do. Like most people, I think most people in any country don't talk a lot about politics.
They say the terrorists planted the bombs with a short bus. They say Pepe gave him the idea about the short bus.
So I guess you guys heard about the babies. At least he said something funny for it. There wasn't this, what do you call it? The autopsy of...
Pepe gave him the idea about the short bus.
Right? By bare hands. Bare-handed, yeah. Yeah, a 10-month-old. And this is like some savagery.
See,
a 4-year-old. How long ago? I thought that they murdered. So one was 4 years. Sorry, go ahead. One was 4 years old and one was 10 years old. Right. And not only that, it was and they said that it wasn't later than I think November 2023. That's correct. Yeah. So it happened. So it happened really like shortly after they were kidnapped. Yeah. No more than let's say a month.
I've been having this roast of Pepe here, and Pepe, I think this is a good point, like a turning point or a conjunction, meaning that I have a question for Pepe. With whatever opinions you have, whoever you are, whatever your conditioning is, your lived experience, your knowledge, etc. I mean, how is that all in comparison to the law and, essentially murder? So, I mean, where do you stand in terms of the law? That's what the whole defining division is. I mean, on October 7th, the question is, how can you rationalize your stupidity with the violation of the law on October 7th? And is not everything that's transpiring not just a precipitant of October 7th and the violation of that law? I'm not saying he does, but I can't rationalize myself how anyone can just essentially ignore the term law and use the word Jew instead all the time. I know spiritually why they're retarded.
I know what you're saying.
I know, because you're stupid. And so the point is, can you even tell us what the word law means? Hello, it's an English word. It's called law. Can you help maybe define it in one sentence?
I don't think I am even following you at this point.
A state rule.
I use a lot of words. That's the problem. So can you tell us what the word law means in one sentence, Dr. Pepe?
A rule of the state.
So it's a state rule? It's a state rule. That's it? 2 words, state rule? That's your big definition for the word law?
Works for me.
Okay, then you're stupid. 2 words to define a very complicated word. I mean, maybe you're brilliant. I don't know. I think you're stupid. Can you maybe define the word God in one sentence, Dr. Pepe?
Why are you focusing on Pepe today?
Because his brain is, he's part of this equation. But the point is, I've roasted Diego, and now I'm roasting a frog named Dr. Pepe. Or is you like to call Pee-Pee.
You're trying too hard. It's becoming annoying.
Good. I'm glad. Because Dr. Pee-Pee...
I never take him seriously, so I don't,
Yeah, you're above me. I get it. You're so cool. You're so smart. You're so handsome with your fake spray on tan and your fucking baked caked hair.
You're a chronic troll. Like, why would I ever take you
You're
seriously?
projecting. Chronic troll. You're a chronic troll. You're a stupid fuck. That's what you are, Dr. Pee-Pee. Chronic troll. Don't you know how projection works? You project, Dr. Pee-Pee. You see, if I ever actually wasted my parents' time having that conversation, what I wouldn't because I respect them too much, I would tell them about people like you and how stupid people are on the internet and how it's my job, pro bono, pro se, to help enlighten people with their stupidity. They'd say, you know what, John? Maybe you're doing God's work. Maybe there are stupid people on the internet, and maybe you can help make them a little bit smarter, and maybe their lives can be a little bit better because they don't have J-word Tourette's. You're a J-word Tourette sufferer too, Dr. Keegan.
Is that when you lower the roof and you go, is that how you make people
But
smart?
I am curious, though,
I'm getting tired of all of you right now.
Edmund, how does it feel to be a Jew, and every time you go into most rooms where your fellow Jews are, they generally kick you out?
Oh, I'm not Jewish, Dr.
No,
Pee-Pee.
he's kicked out because people are paranoid about it, not because they hate him.
Dr. Pee-Pee, I'm not Jewish. My mom's not Jewish, Dr. Pee-Pee. I don't know what to tell you. You can call me a J-word if you want. I know you got J-word Tourette's, so that's all you ever talk about, as well as Dr. Keegan here. But one of these days, you fucking dumb schmucks will open a book and increase your vocabulary and not have J-word Tourette's. I'm just hoping for that day for you. It'll be a breakout day. It'll be a new life. Exactly.
And the room's dead.
Joby put it best in the chat. She wrote, I know you are, but what am I? I don't know, Joby. What are you? A nice person, an intelligent person who doesn't come up and use the J word every second sentence like Dr. Pee-Pee? I know you are, but what am I? Dr. Pee-Pee, we did it. We made it all the way to the end of this anti-semantic drama. It's been fun. I hope you enjoyed. Go to subscribepodcast.com to see more of Dr. Pee-Pee and his amazing intelligence. This is how I love starting my day out with this talk therapy against stupid people who talk about nothing and waste their time all day long. I mean, do you think I'm doing therapy for other people or just for myself? You know, if you can clear out a room and make everybody annoyed, are you annoying? Did you hear anything intelligent discussed this morning, audience? Have you ever heard anything intelligent discussed on this app any mornings? Nope. You haven't. It's just entertaining. Because technically it's a roast, and you've all been a participant in the Adrian Dittman, Edmund Dakin Super Morning Roast of anti-Semitic drama. Because let's be honest, there's a lot of anti-Semites who pose as being pro-Jewish. But we know deep down they don't like the Jews. Because if you don't like anything, no matter what it is, there's something about yourself that you don't like. And that's a you problem. Many people can't stand hearing it when somebody says, sorry, that's a you problem. And I think it's kind of a funny reframing. It's like a competitive reframing, technically, because it could really be a you problem and not a you problem. Does that make any sense? Or am I using too many words for you? Because if you don't understand what I'm saying, maybe you're like, I don't even understand one fucking thing you just said. Then I would say in return, that could be a you problem. That's the funny thing about Clown House, is everybody is constantly saying, that's a you problem, but it's really a you problem. Does that make any sense? I know it's getting very complicated. Duality, non-duality. Oy vey, subjective, objective, subjective.